You want me to ask questions or you want me to preach? He likes to answer the questions. Okay. Right, me too. Me too. Yes. I used to have to, so I wanted to hear God talk, not see Butch talk. That makes sense. So I used to have to and hear the words, but it's.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I gotta get it.
He's done the work. He's on the road. He's sleeping. Yeah. Right, and that's it. Man. Wake up. That's called what do they call that? Sleep learning, whatever. Put the headphones on and go to sleep while they talk to you all night. You wake up and you learned all about it.
Yeah. Smart.
I hear it's hard. It's hard because it takes a while to really get set up. If you're gonna do a real course, where they put it on, you're supposed to sleep, and you do all that thing. It takes like 4 hours to get set up, and then you only really sleep for about 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours. But it's a sleep study. Yes. I'm hoping they will come in. Am I saying bad things? All right, everybody, we're going to jump right in for the sake of time, and God willing, we'll fill in and just we'll try to stay focused and not pay too much attention to those coming in, but I'm sure we'll fill in here in the next 20, 30 minutes. Announcements wise, this is coming right down Coffee House. This is at Coronado High School. Sammy. Okay, I'm trying to get everything up. I'm trying to remember everything now. Okay, admission price for adults is $10. Students is $8. There's coffees provided by Starbucks. Dessert is provided by Costco, and that's all included in the price of admission. Roger, I'm told, is performing. It's a coffee house type setting, so he's going to be performing live music Thursday night, the 27th, and it's going to be, so you have Wednesday the 26th and the 27th and the 28th. That's this Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You can pay at the door when you get there. Anything else? She actually had everything. She's like, here. I don't want to tell. So, good. And then, obviously, next Monday night, guys, is Halloween. Happy trick or treat, pass out candy, go get some, dress up. Yeah. Katie?
My party originated from the class only, but last year was the first time I had teenagers in, and all the other kids, because they would peek in, and I felt bad. For years they've been doing that. So all the kids are invited. But if you wear a costume, you get something, and have dance contest, raffles, and musical chairs, last one standing gets something. And the Halloween costumes are for each class, like, so it'd be like the little one, doing this, and so. And that's my special prize for tomorrow, because Halloween's for you.
All right.
Bring a snack. Everybody bring the kids, bring us a snack.
I got out of that one.
50 cents for sodas because they wasn't.
I believe you. Okay, so Katie, say that again. You need help with costumes, and snacks?
No, they should wear costumes. It's
Okay.
not a costume contest.
Okay, all right.
Dress.
So your children tomorrow bring costumes for the costume contest.
I bought all the cases of pop already and the ice and pizza tomorrow.
All right. Got it, please.
This is my holiday. Yeah.
So, no Monday night next week, Halloween, Sermon on the Mount, the following on the Sermon on the Mount, the ordination, then Sermon on the Mount, potluck, dinner following, November 6th, that's the following, a week from this Sunday, so, and then our pastors will be back this Sunday. And so just pray for the return there, safe return, and, God, thanks.
No, you're doing a good job.
I'll just, yeah, so just pray for the return, growth, and no letdown, So this last week we had a little letdown on Sunday, so just pray that pick back up, and I just, whatever. I'd hate for him to come home and feel like I can't take vacation. So, okay, it's important to be able to get time off and get away, get restored, and get back on track and get out and get away from everything. And that's really the time that he has to do that. Back to get to the Lord and get away from this world. And he really gets a lot of sermons stacked up right there. You get a new direction every year, new focus every time he comes back. Pray for that. Looking forward. Anything else? Announcements, Wes? Okay. Yes. 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 Yeah, and so the whole church, the idea for having it on the mountain is the whole body can be there. All right, so everybody from first service to third service, and we can all make it.
It's on Sunday.
Yeah, it's on a Sunday. You want to be there, you really do. It's not something, the ordination is not something that happens all the time, so. And then the ones that are being ordained, only get ordained once. And it's for our body, and it's the exciting part about it is it's growth, and it's you look to the future and everything like that, and all these things, it's evident. There's growth coming, and we're a part of that, so. No. It's for mothers. You go there, you park, and there's benches right there. You don't have to hike. All right, good? We're good, all right. Anything else? One.
And I just want to say that what a wonderful job you have been doing, which is absent. And I think you've been
Right.
You could have heard one.
It's the reason is
You could have heard a pin drop Sunday morning. You could hear a pin drop. Because everybody did.
all right. I'll take that. I'll take it that way. When you're standing up here, it's different. You have all kinds of different thoughts going on, and you expect. I expect, sometimes when I'm excited, I'm expecting you to be excited, and so especially when we're talking about your sin being taken away, and it's rejoice and be happy, man. I really do expect an out, like a wave, and everybody jumping and screaming, and it's like when it's quiet, it's like, wow, that didn't really hit home, So glad to hear that that was the case. They were paying attention, not wasn't hitting home. So thank you all. Yeah. Me too. My eyes were closed. I was paying attention the whole time. Anything else? Anybody? If not, Raymond, if you don't mind, can you open this in a quick word, please?
Heavenly Father, we give you thanks. We give you thanks for God, humble God that's given and even above our sins, Lord. We just thank you. And we go forth serving him and having faith in that he's going to deliver us. And Lord, we just thank you for that. And we ask for all of our elders and members and the preachers. We just ask for them to be sent home safely. We need them. And not that Robert's not doing a great spiritual awakening, but we need everyone, Lord. We just thank you. Lord, just the sick, just heal them, get them here next week, Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen, amen. Okay, most everybody here was here yesterday. You know, you had traffic incident. So yesterday, since you could hear a pin drop, we were paying attention. What'd you hear? What'd you catch?
Rejoice.
Really you.
Yeah, okay, what about it?
There's two of you, there's the you that God cares about, God cares about both. You know, there's the selfish you, and then there's the you that, you know, the beast in you, the selfish you, and then there's
The real you. What's the real you? You got it. You don't know, you're right there, buddy. You're right there. No, you got it. It's the real you. The real you. Yeah, the one that sees. It looks out of this body and sees, and hears, and understands words, and has feelings. Right? No, that's the real you. And so, yeah, there's two different yous, and that the you, that's what was created in the garden when God breathed. Now the other one is just a delusion. It's really a delusion, and if you see God, see God's whole picture. Before the foundation of the world, Christ is seen crucified. Okay? So that means all the sins already cast into the sea of forgetfulness. Sea of forgetfulness. Get it? Now, in Revelation, you have Satan. Satan brings up this beast out of a sea. You know, and if you just see a forgetfulness, flesh, beast, lion, it's the same. He raises up this beast, this illusion that you could be fine, you can be God, you can be yourself, separated, and have your own thoughts that are separated from God's thoughts, have your own desires that are separated from his desires, the feelings, the whole nine, separated from him, and you can have your own and live for you. And so it's a delusion that's brought up, and you know, if you can really look at the way I look at it, and I really can understand it, is it was believed into existence because it's not real. And all those that die, they go into the pit, and they end up when it's all said and done. It is said they go down believing the lie. The lie, and, you know, so it's just an illusion. It's a lie, and you can be okay. You can be God outside of yourself, and then have the feelings and desires and the cares for me. Now, what I kind of stumble a little bit on that because it's not that it's a bad thing to have feelings and desires for yourself. Not that that's a total bad, horrible thing. But the bottom line is your feelings and thoughts and desires are supposed to be for God, not for you. And that's where the shortcomings come into play. It's not that every man going out, it's not that they're out committing these horrible crimes to man, and even before God. It's just where their heart and their mind is at, and where they live at is in the union with the body and the flesh. And they have cares, thoughts, feelings, and desires just for themselves. And all the actions that are lived out are a result of that fall or that shortcoming. Whether they be hatred towards another person, you know, it comes down to, I mean, a godship. You're not God. And every time you're reminded of that, boom, there's an explosion. And then whoever's in that area is the culprit that gets fallen on, that falls on. And no, you're not God. So there's two separate yous, right? And one created of God, and the other one's just an illusion, just a lie. What else yesterday? Huh? The walkabout? Yeah, okay. First service didn't really get that as good as the third service did. Yeah, and the walkabout, but, okay. What part about it, if I can ask you that? Okay, if you didn't hear her, she said she said the walkabout from yesterday is what she heard and caught in. And in third service, I really got into that, in the invitation. Where we walk, where we take the walk with Jesus, we take this walk with God, and we find out who we are, where we stand before God. And in that walk, you find Jesus come bursting on the scene. And really try to show the different miracles that you see, and you can look at them and you read them and see his miracles that are happening. But in last week's sermon that I got to preach for third service, I showed us how we actually seen a lot of these miracles happen right here. Where blind can see, the deaf hears, the mute can speak, cancers being healed and taken away. I talked about Bill Millar, stuff like that, just different ones that are gone and don't have these elements anymore. So if you're seeing it in faith and you're seeing it in Jesus, you see how they've overcome the cancers, all these different things, and you've really seen miracles. You've seen them things being taken away. And if you look to heaven, you can see today, like Bill. You guys remember, they've been around Bill, dragging oxygen tank. Barely move, but be on outreach, go knock on the door, maybe only make 4,000 or 5,000 calls he could handle, but he wouldn't miss it. It was just sold out for the Lord. Doors were open, he was here. Any talk about mercy or Jesus, you can hear in the audience, "Oh, thank you, Daddy," right over here somewhere. And that's my brother Bill Millar. But you know what? Today, he's up there going, "Come on, guys, keep the faith." He's not dragging no oxygen tank, right? He's saying, "Man, keep the faith." And he's not tired. He's not, looking for air. It's all there. Both arms are working good. Got one that just kind of didn't work all that great. It kind of stayed. But he's totally healed. Cancers, all different ones, man, they don't have those cancers anymore, right? And we see the miracles, and we see these happenings. And, so you're with your walkabout. When you walk about, that's what you got to remember. And man, you've been walking along, and all this time, man, now you haven't been right. And somewhere somebody brought a message of Jesus. Jesus come bursting on the scene. And then you started walking with those old people. Walking with Jesus, and you started walking, and along the walk, you started seeing miracles happen. Right? You started seeing people that couldn't see spiritual things, couldn't hear what God had to say. Right? Then all of a sudden, man, they getting around and you start telling about God, and all of a sudden their ears are opened up to what God says. And when a person never talked before, never maybe shy or whatever, a few encouraging words of Jesus, all of a sudden they're talking. Once the mute speaks, right? Where's Samuel? He's not really a mute. Alicia and Samuel, Samuel? Pretty quiet guy. But you get over there and start talking to about Jesus, and you open up. And every one of us are the same way. We can be quiet, we can be shy, and kind of, not outgoing. But you get over and start talking to about Jesus, all of a sudden, hey, yeah, man, that's my Savior too. Yeah, I believe in him too. Yeah, right? And they start talking. So, the thing is you experienced it. Now, I can show it to you. I've experienced it, and I can remind you of it. But don't you remember? Right? And remember. Then, so from the remember, then comes the experience, and because the walk about it. And in the walk, and all that stuff, yeah, he did that. And all these things are confirming his deity, God. And it's God in the flesh, that he is the one, he is the Christ. Right, all these things that are happening, and faith is getting stronger, it's getting built, right? More people are being saved, delivered. Salvation is happening, and that encourages more faith, brings on more reality. And then in that walk, and in the walk somewhere, we get to see that he actually is strung up. What I was trying to show too is because the title yesterday, The Reason Is You. And every moment of his walk was for you. The right line, being lived out was for the real you, that it wouldn't suffer God's wrath for all eternity. And he kept that perfect with you in his thoughts, every part of it, every step. People didn't believe him, they mocked him, and he had nothing but love for these same people. And and doing all that just for you, just to keep it right for you. And try to understand too, he doesn't need it. It's God. That's God in the flesh, and he doesn't need to show, prove, and to show anything like that he's right, to prove that he's right. But you need the righteousness. You need it, because we don't have it, right? Man, and then you just start seeing, man, he did that for me. I'm not right. And thoughts, how many times have your thoughts? Yeah, every other one. Yeah, you can't even control it. So we're doomed. We're doomed. And so then and you walk out, you're like, yeah, and then there he is, there's the Savior, and he's hanging on the cross. And and you start seeing, man, and that right there, then thoughts that I couldn't even, every other one, right, Jim? Every other one, but being nailed to that old cross, because it missed God. It missed him every time, and it's being nailed to him right there on it, and you get to see that, and you see it, and it's for me. It's for me. Yeah, and the flip side of that, the fallen man, right? We got it to that. The fallen man, it's your fault. It's you. And that's our old beast, that one that comes up from the lie. I will to be God. And everyone, it's the God syndrome. God ship. We've gone on living our life, it's the same. That God ship. But then the you see it. You see the one the real you, being up there on that cross, and you see it in thoughts, whatever they may be, whatever is holding you back, whatever is making you think that God can't love you. And my thoughts can run wild because I can't control them. And how can God love you? How can God even be a part of it, be in you and live in that corrupted state? You know what I'm saying? And it's right there though. It's being nailed to the cross. And there he is, and then he gets punished, and then God's wrath starts pouring out, and you see the sky blacken. For me, the real me. Only reason he hangs up there, only reason he hangs up there is for you. Death, giving it up for you. Wow, walk about. Sky's blackened. He screams out, to tell the thoughts, and then into thy hands. It's finished, is what that means. It's finished. Into your hands, and then my spirit goes into judgment. And a reminder, guys, the only reason it's dead, the only reason why it's gave that up is you. You're in it. You're there. You're the corruption. You're the offense to God. You're what caused that death. The only reason it's dead is you. And in that, there it is. He's got his spirit with you in it. Goes to God for judgment. Now, you are what killed it. What do you think God's going to do with it at that judgment state? Now, your walkabout. You're in your walkabout, and you understand then. What would God do? What would God do? Going to the only place he can do, the only thing he can do to that is put it in hell. The place of confinement was already prepared for the offense. Right? So you see, when you walk by, you see, that's where it goes. And so that's where he would go with me, all of the offense. And then you find the place, and then 3 days. Yeah. In the tube. And so 3 days though. 3 days. Now, it'll be a while. And now here's your walkabout though. You're there and you've been walking with him, and it's your Savior, right? It's your Lord and Savior. And he's just been nailed to a cross. He's just been killed. You see him, they've taken his body down. After plumbing that spirit aside, they take his body down and put it into a tube. And go away. And you've seen it. He's dead. Now for whatever reason, maybe you want to go in there and make sure it's dead. Go in there and prepare it, like the Marys did. Keep the stench out. Whatever reason, go back in here a couple days later, on that morning, that Sunday morning, and as they're going on their way, and remember guys, and it's our walkabout now, right? And we're going back to that tomb. We're going back to see him. We're going back to see if he's there. And then all of a sudden there's that big earthquake. And then no doubt that the fears that could come over. You know, man, they probably never had an earthquake. Huh? And all of a sudden, oh wow, what was that? And so they get on, they go further, and there's this being, man, sitting on the tomb. And the first thing he says is, fear not. I know who you're seeking. It is Jesus who was crucified, but he's not here. And so what you do is you find, well, you go in there and look, and see, make sure. And matter of fact, they encourage you to do so. Go look, have a seat. And you get in there and see the place of confinement, the place of death, where he was. And see, yeah, he really laid there. He really did. And man, notice this though, he's not there. It's the big part, he's not there. And then, so when you notice that he's not there, man, then you get out of there. Don't stay roaming around. Go look and make sure it's in there dead. Make sure all that stuff's dead. Get on out of there. And when you're coming out, right? You're coming out, all that stuff's behind. And then the tomb, though. It's the tomb. No doubt, and there could be all kinds of fear looking out that from inside there. Because now everything that's outside of that tomb, everything now is going to be brand new. It's going to be something they've never known before. And they have no idea what's going to be out there. But go. So, and with all the fear and everything, yeah, it's there. And the sweet, here's your Lord, though, the sweet thing, they start going. And somewhere in that, no doubt the fears are there. It's in the text, they make with haste, fear in their heart, and Jesus comes out. Rejoice, right? Don't be afraid. Rejoice. Go tell the brethren to go to Galilee, and that's where you'll see me. That's where they'll see me. And they fall in sweet. They fall down loving him. And that was the point getting to it yesterday is, the reason, if the reason is you, being God's reason, if that reason is you, you would respond the same way he responded, loving you, the same way that Mary responded. And the reason they found out, man, everything that he did, his life, death, burial, resurrection, everything was all about for them. And they come out when he said rejoice, they knew exactly what he meant. It's all done, it's finished. And they loved him. They fell on him, they started kissing his feet. Right? Amen. So the walkabout. And it didn't get in that good for first service. Actually, that part didn't even make first service. But it got in third service and the invitation, and it made an impact on us. Anything else yesterday?
It could be a way to that. Hell was created for.
Oh,
Protection. And I'm like, whoa. Get over.
Yeah, I don't know how I said that. I do, I remember the side,
Satan.
yeah, okay. Satan stands before God, accusing the brethren, day and night, right? Day and night, day and night. Somewhere within Satan, he desired to be God, within all that stuff. Jealousy, and that's really what it comes down to. He hated the fact that God loved you. And more than him, or what, he loved the creation of man. He really loved it. I mean, the evidence, and loving that more than anything else, when he comes on and tells you what his first love more than anything else is Jesus, and all things are created, that's you too. All things that are created in him, for him, and by him. That's you too, and you find, and then what he does with that, his very first love is slaughter him for you. That's pretty precious, right? And so here's Satan comes up before God making the accusations, and will to be God. And in the moment he willed to, hell was prepared. So the reason really was you. It come down to you jealous over you, started making all this stuff, and hell was prepared to keep that old booger off you. I think that was pretty sweet, and then all the confinement that it's in there. Man, all this, the illustration, when you go through baptism, life, death, burial, resurrection, you have that too, and confinement. Everything that's wrong with you, everything that missed God, is out of his sight. It really is. It's just what are we living with that stuff? Are we still in the tomb? Because, that's the only place, that's the confinement. That's where you see all that stuff. It's in the tomb. You get out of there and start living resurrected like he is, man, that stuff's left behind. And, but see, so Satan, yeah, even his fall was you. The reason was you. Yeah, he willed to be God and desired all that stuff, but all that stuff was all come about because of you. Jealous. So that was pretty sweet too. I like it. And guys, stop, man. All right.
What I really liked was the part that, when you said that Adam had created the sin, when Eve took the apple down, Adam created the sin, but look at how we act every day.
Yeah. Okay.
We are living that same, and it's not Adam's fault anymore.
Right. Yeah, so, well, I was trying to show you, because people go out there, and they want to just, we'll blame Adam, it's Adam's fault, and how come I got to deal with that suffering? Then why do I have to take the saving from Jesus when Adam, it's not my fault, he did it. So people want to hold all that stuff, so I want to really show them, man, that they've been the same, they've done the same thing and given the same opportunity. Yeah, there's no difference, man. You do the same thing, and if you're a being, and you only do one thing, God, and all of a sudden you were presented that you could be God, you would do the same thing. And yeah, so we all have, and that was a big point right there, Amber. And the evidence of that is, and how I can say that is what man has lived ever since. Ever since that day, and it's never been about God. It's never been life's always going to be about God and bringing God to someone else. It's always been about me, my life, fix it up here. And then, the American dream, right? You can get everything right here. You can have it all right here. Yeah? And so then mankind has been living that ever since Adam's fall and the fall of man. That was big. Man. When you start really looking at it, and I said that the reason is you, and from the beginning all the way down to the end of it, I started finding that all of God's movement, everything that He did was all about me. And I really, with the sermon yesterday, I really wanted us to take that part of it and really be greedy with it, really be like that He loved me, because God did so love the world, right? That He gave Jesus, right? But I mean, just you say that. You go home and you say that for a while. He loves the world, and then He loves me. and see which one grabs your heart. And then with your walkabout, man, every bit of that stuff is for me. It's for me. He lives for me. He's right for me. He died for me, with me, because of me. Right? He loves me. And you know, at the end of it, you'll be hugging his feet when he's right there saying rejoice. You'll be hugging his feet, loving him.
I heard differently. I heard Lucifer was supposed to be God's right hand man of a general, but since Jesus was born, he was supposed to take this place. But since Jesus was born, he didn't like that, so he was cast out of heaven. So this was supposed to be his world, but God didn't like the way he was treating humans, so he sent his only son to come and replace. Yeah.
No.
You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. I've never heard that. Yeah.
He didn't like that.
Yeah, all right.
He felt like he was great. If he was supposed to be the one, so he was absolutely.
Difference is, the son, one is a son of God, that is equal, that is God, and is one with, the other is a created being. And you know, it's just an angel, a created being, and just so you know, the animal side of it, he was the highest of all the angels, and the most beautiful of all in heaven. But it didn't understand though, he did have a fall. And you know, so the ranking side of it, generally, yeah, he was exalted above all the angels. He really was in heaven, so.
He was wise than that.
Yeah, but it didn't matter though, so the hate that he had for you though, put him in hell. You get that?
Here.
Huh?
We're sent here.
No, see, Jesus is not a created, Jesus is not born. Jesus has always been with God. God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. It's always been there. And Satan was actually created by Jesus because Jesus was creating all things.
Right. Go ahead.
Satan was just an angel. And God exalted him above all the other angels. He wasn't a right-hand man, he was just an angel. So the angels, they stand before God, but they do not give God any counsel. They do not do it. God sends them to do what they do.
They're in awe, they're always in awe of his glory, and all that stuff, and so we get to experience that stuff. We get to be a part of that. And they just observe. It's pretty.
Well, that's why.
You heard that yesterday? You heard that yesterday? No. No, all right, thanks, bro.
You touched on our feelings and thoughts.
Yeah, feelings
That
and
we
thoughts.
got at the very beginning, without being born first, and how we twisted those feelings and those thoughts around, and how we conjure up. You know, how our minds are so messed up, you know, with this flag, with the curse.
Yeah, from the curse.
We are really angry at what, ourselves, because we're not God.
Yeah.
We want to be right, and Jesus is our right. And I thought, you just, you drop the bomb. That's why he got silent, that's what I thought. Doug is like, oh, he was like twisting his head and everything. I watched the response in him, because that guy never moves. You know, and he was like, you know, really, you know, and that's what got me, I pay attention to people. You know, the mystery, his reaction, you know, he's lost reaction.
Did anybody else feel like a bomb got dropped? Yeah, I wish you could have been here, you know, like. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Wasn't Cain the first cast of the I don't think Adam sinned. I think Cain did, like killing his brother.
Well, all right, hold on. Before all that stuff, see, that is a result of where his heart is at, okay? I'll see this one, and then let's try to stay on track with the theme of the class. Adam, the pact was made with Adam, not Cain, and Cain's just one of his sons.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not made with Cain, the pact's made with Adam. Adam, you know, and so that's why when Eve eats of it, that's why nothing happens. That's why they don't look around and go, oh, what's wrong? That's why when, as soon as Adam eats of it, there's this happening, and they notice, hey, we're not clothed, and they go try to make coverings for themselves, and they run and they try to hide from God. And every person born into existence, that's what we do. Run, cover, try to, and we blame and we excuse. We put it on someone else. We don't want to take account for our own acts. And Cain didn't want to either. You know, he offered an offering that was all of himself, not of God. And because he hated his brother, because his brother just brought truth to him.
Right.
You know, so that's the result of the fall of man. These actions that are lived out, murder, all these different things, you know, yeah, that's a result of your sin.
But the Uncle Cain was a kid label.
Yeah. The sin is you. It's you. It's my thought. You know, keep your thoughts clean for a day. Keep them clean for an hour. Huh? No, yeah, try a minute. Thank you. Thank you. Got some honesty right there. No, look. What do we got in here? Gotta make sure. Huh?
Last question that you don't understand.
No, I do. I just kind of off. It's off point, big time.
When you're purple.
Huh? Yes. Go ahead.
Cain was not born after the fall.
Yeah.
He was born after the garden.
Yeah. So there's already a fall.
After the garden.
It's already a cast out of the garden, and we're all in that same boat. Adam's our representative. First representative, Jesus Christ, your second representative. Now, you can believe God or not. It don't matter. It's all the same. Righteousness is through faith in Jesus Christ. To all. Right? And on all that believe. So, you know, there's sin, and we're sinners. And you can't get out of it. So if you have a problem like with what I'm saying, I'm just asking you to check your own thoughts. Raymond?
Out of this 50 people, and if we were not serving the Lord, each and every one of us have an excuse for salvation. How do we get there on our own? That's the nature of man.
Fair enough.
But we got something to go by, the inspired word of God, and that's the only thing we go by. You can hear a story on every corner.
Yeah, you can. You sure can. Well, that's true. And man makes them all up, don't they?
And nothing else is required.
Well, I thank God for His Spirit. You know, comes up everywhere.
But you know that Adam had Cain and Abel after the fall because they were preparing sacrifices. They were preparing sacrifices to atone for the sin, which if it had been before the fall or whatever, there would have been no reason for the sacrifice.
Right, that's what Verba was just saying too, was that came after the fall of man.
Right.
So they're born, their birth was after the fall of man. So, yeah, where were we at? We went down that little track. Katie, the feelings, the thoughts, the desire, dropping the bomb. Yeah, did anybody feel like a bomb got dropped yesterday? Like and that's how I really felt like that too. And like everything that came, it was like, wow, the fall of man, everything that's done. I mean, all the whole work.
Somehow you worded it like I've never heard.
I mean, it's the Spirit. It's really the Spirit that came in, but man, the whole. Let me see if we can get a little more like graphic and drastic. You know, there's been world wars throughout all history. There have been wars. Bloodlines have been wiped off the face of the earth. and exist no more. But yet, you were born into this state in this day and age. And what I want you to see is it's God involvement in all that stuff. You know, making sure you can be born today. I want to see the grandeur of his work too. Have you been to the Grand Canyon? No? Have you seen it on TV?
Yeah.
In a magazine? It's this great big hole. Massive. It's massive. A mile wide. And a mile deep in parts. And it's this great, I mean, it's beautiful too. And this in waterfalls, yeah. And then the whole, that's just one part. That's just Arizona. Man, you get up into like Alaska, you know, and just the scenery alone. White Cap Mountains with these glass water. And it's all mirror image. And okay, now God created all that stuff with just his word. There it was. Now with mankind, his hand was on, involved with every step, making sure that bloodlines would be secure and make it into this, like Terry, that she would come into existence someday. And work through all history, work in these different things that you could be. And then also, and when I say everything, there's nothing that he did. There's nothing that he did that wasn't for you.
Yes, amen.
Huh?
Amen.
And that's like, boom! And so you got your thoughts, you got your feelings, your desires, all that stuff. They all come from him. And you know, and in our fall, all we do is think of self, but then he comes in with Jesus, so you can be thinking of him again. Ain't that sweet? Yeah. And this whole thing, he responded every time, responded the same. While we were rebellious, he loved, he forgave. While we smacked in the face, plucked beard, spit on, he loved and he forgave. And he still got on the cross with joy for you. Man, and it's like every different one. And that one he comes flat out and says it, despising the shame, but for the joy of your salvation, right? Endures the cross, despising the shame of it. And that's oh man, the word despise don't take it light. Hate with a passion. Did not like it at all. Hated it with passion. To have to take us. How that had to feel. How that had to feel to someone who's right, who's never been separated from God, who's never had an offense to him. How that would have to feel to him holding all that offense, and he's going to go stand before God. Boy, he hated feeling that. But for the joy of your salvation, and he stepped right on up to the plate. Let's go. Anthony's going to get saved over it. For you. Every step is right life, every step for you. Everything with creation for you. And if he was catching that and you were really catching that, it was like a bomb. It really was. And that's how it was for me. It's bang, and I can't get enough of it. It's all for me. And if it's all for you, you know what you'll do? You'll love everybody. Come on, hey, he loves you. And you can show him. You can show him exactly how he loves you. And you can take him to the walkabout and take him with you. Look, man, oh, here's this. And bring him to Galilee so they can see Jesus. Pleasant View. It's changing right over now. So people don't get confused. We know what it is, right? Man, if you go out there, man, I've been telling people to go to Galilee. They're like, what? I mean, Pleasant View. You know, so guys with each other, we got it down, right? We know what Galilee is. It's over there, 15th Avenue in Atlanta, right? We can make it here in our sleep. Car drives here, automatically makes it turn by itself. You notice that? You can be trying to go somewhere else. That car and look, and all the reason is you. You know, we want, and there's times I didn't want to go other places and try to drive by, and I couldn't. God drew me, just like he drew every one of them. of you in.
Amen.
They are so special, and each one is special and intimate with him.
Like back in the day, like people were telling me about the Lord could be your addiction, you know, like how that possible? The Lord be your addiction. But now that I look back, that's what I was addicted to, was that peace. That's the only time I had peace was when I was in church for that hour. I got that peace, and now this Bible is my addiction. You know, I pick it up daily, and I realize that wow, it's my addiction. You know, that's awesome. I'm addicted to what's the week. I'm just gonna love the word.
Why not? Oh, yeah. What I love about his statement the most is the word addict. And, being a drug addict, formerly drug addict myself, I know exactly what it is. And I know how that feels. I know how to be stuck and consumed and not be able to get out of it. You know, it's demonic. And pray, really have compassion on people if you know, if they're strung out on any type, methamphetamines, any kind of a drug. It don't matter if they're strung out, they have a problem with it. Could be alcohol, methamphetamines, cocaine, all these heroin, the pills, the legal pills they give out, and all these different things can just, they're demonic. They're demonic, and they'll control a person. And I'm telling you the truth because I know. Even though I didn't want to. I tried to get out of it. I hated it. Pray God deliver me from it. I don't want to be in tears and tears and tears, and yet I find myself the next day picking that crack pipe up. We're all sinners, and so addict. I love that, and you know what? What's sweet about that is, as I know Anthony's a former from back in the past too. Have problems with different things. But when God becomes your addiction, it's sweet, ain't it? All the other things, you forget about it. You're like, how that stuff even got hold of you? And you really start having some compassion for people because, man, you can't. There was a time you thought you could control and maybe do whatever, and you found out that this stuff had a hold up, and you can't do it. It's demonic, and you need God's help. And so. I thank you for bringing that up. He's my addiction too. There's no greater feeling. There's no greater feeling that you get. There's no greater high that you'll get. There's no greater low, if I can say it like that. There's ups and downs riding with God. It's fun, man. It's never a dull moment. Yeah. And hold on, man. Cling to Christ. Hold on to your Savior because that is woo. Right? You know what? And you may be asleep down in the stern. Just hold on. Everything else still be going all crazy. But it's fine. You know how it's fine? You know how you know it's fine? Because he's asleep. He's with you. He's resting. Don't go to waking him up. All right? Get him out there. Yeah, he really does. No, that's sweet, man. Isn't God great? Go ahead, yeah.
Just wanted to say, in addition to the addiction, I think that with addiction specifically, you lose a sense of trust with your mind and with yourself. And I think that when you can endure trusting God and that really becomes known you, it proves that God's word is a living word and that it's relevant and it's not, it's just relevant. It's alive.
It is. I think, and just since we're on that, I'm gonna throw this out there and add, if you having some kind of a problem, any drug problem, if you're having that, don't take this the wrong way. And I'm gonna tell you, don't go out and try to fix yourself. Okay? Number one thing, trust God. Keep getting in here. If that stuff needs to get delivered from you, God will deliver you from that stuff, and He'll separate that stuff from you. And and it's sweet being a child of God, because all things, even where you were messed up on some old drug addiction or whatever, all things work for the good for those that love him. So you'll be better for it someday. But you know, if you go out trying to fix on it, you know what, you're gonna find yourself in a bigger hole, You didn't just trust God. And that's what and guys, I'm telling you, I dealt with that for years, man. Guys, I'm telling you, and I was here. I was coming to church. I kept coming to church, and I kept coming. That's the only thing that kept me alive, if I can say that. It kept me having some kind of reality about Jesus. You know, because every night I would. I didn't say every night. I didn't have that much money. Friday and Saturday, I'd be crying at night, you know, crying myself to sleep. Lord, deliver me, man. I'm broke. I don't want to keep spending this stuff and keep going out and you know, and I'm telling you, passion. I'm not lying. I was passionately sincere in my heart, but I wanted to be done with it. I was playing, but you know what, Daddy, I'm done playing. Get this crap off of me. I don't want it anymore. And you know what? The next day, wake up, go find it. And then, you know, until I was just done, and I can't do it. And I stopped worrying about it. I stopped thinking about it. God delivered me from that stuff. You know, and it may not be the means that I wanted to and all that stuff. You know, a cop took me over, arrested me, take me to jail, and it was an awakening. And I thank God for it. I still thank him today. And, you know, those old police officers, I love them. They don't know it, but I do. But God put them in my life in that moment, at that time, that I could be delivered from stuff that just had me and would have consumed me. Dale?
And a lot of that stuff goes back to the Lord and Paul's side. You can't be humble. If God would have allowed you to get rid of that stuff yourself, you'd probably be
That's
back
right.
out.
Well, that's right.
That old coming here,
Thorn in the side.
searching. God's going to be the one that's going to deliver you from that stuff. I see a lot of times that people come in here, oh God, deliver me from this, help me. He does.
Yeah, they're gone. Yeah. That's
But
true.
it keeps you humble.
Boy,
And I know about what you're talking about the drug addiction, take this from you. Like, come on, please. But that's it.
Yeah.
Me,
Grace is
down here.
It is.
Search it, and it was. God took things out of my life that He wanted,
Boy, amen.
not that I wanted.
Amen. And that's it. And what, you know, that's what's sweet about it. You know, our understanding's not his. And like Dale said, he takes out what he wanted out, not what I want out. And what's needed to be removed. That's key for you to be effective. So and you would here's what I want to share this with you. You got to want it. But it's God that works in you both the will and the ability to do so. The desire that you would want to do it, it's God that worked that in you. Yeah, and so yeah, that's where it comes into it. It's you that wants to do the other stuff. You just go out and do the other stuff and stay on the drugs.
No, you know, so I'm artist.
Good.
Just you to go all over the intimacy of what we're talking right here. The whole sin is where what we are intimate with.
Yeah.
Now, sin, we were subjected to sin unwillingly. God subjected us to sin, so it's not a choice. You're born dead in your trespasses and sins. Wherever you look at it, we are born dead. And we are born intimate with our flesh, which talks to us daily. The flesh lusts against the spirit. So that's what we're born into. The both desire and to do. The ability for me to ever be here and hear the gospel was by the will of God. I didn't will that. I might have asked for it, but I didn't jump out and go looking for it either. I mean, He answered a prayer that He put in my heart.
Yeah.
The intimacy is when we assemble together, the intimacy of His Word that is brought in to us, what we're intimate with. Some are intimate with drugs. Well, I was intimate with a tree in my yard, proud of spending hours daydreaming of the carrots of it and how beautiful it is and how it shaded my house. And then say, how can they worship other gods and I'm sitting there intimate with the damn tree? You know, and just the reality of the assembly is so that we can continue that intimacy with God. Our success in anything is the intimate relationship we have with God that we receive from God. The ability to love my enemy, I never will. I might even hate him, ask God to kill him, and God's going to kill him, but guess what he did first? He sent my butt over there to testify for him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The reality of the intimacy and the power from God in us is our union with God and in us. Every love that comes from me to you, now as a result of him with me and me with him.
Yeah.
That his intimacy, his love, his hate. We have those feelings. The flesh tells you one way to use them, and the Spirit shows you his way to use them. And if you walk in the Spirit, which is unity, intimacy, relationship, thought, a love affair with Jesus, he says, you will bear my fruit.
Right.
Bam! You lift me up, and I will draw all men to me. Bam! Yeah.
I'm gonna let us go. I have there was a sweet little, I guess, happening. I had Jeff, Uncle Jeff, stayed with me for a while, and he went out in my front yard, tilled my dirt. You know, I got left to death. Tilled it up, planted some grass seed, and I had grass. I had to start borrowing Tracy's lawnmower and stuff. I started putting me to work, you know? Stuff growing out there. So anyway, you know, I've been tending to it and taking care of it, and you know, coming into fall, it's lawn season, so I was out there tilling it last weekend and throwing new seed down and stuff like that. And I remember I was thinking of the sower, how the sower went out to this seed. And I was like, it was like a bunch of seed. When I went like that, it was like a whole bunch went down, you know, not just one little, and it all fell. Some of them hard, soft, and stony, and in the patch of grass that was already there. And so I was writing all that stuff. But what caught me and what I took my pen and paper down was that the seed by itself doesn't do any good. You can have it, and I started thinking of the mustard seed, parable of the mustard seed. And you know, and everything that's come through with that seed is it's planted. Now I'm jumping to 30, but first, okay, the seed's got to get planted. But once it's planted, it grows into this. The mustard seed grows into one of the biggest trees out there that all birds can house and nest in and can provide shade, right? But you know, the thing with a seed though is you can, even if it's planted, you plant it. But if it doesn't have water, and a lot of water for grass, it's like constantly water. The grass will start growing. Okay, so now faith is as of a mustard seed, right? Faith, reality, the unseen realities of God has got to be planted into the heart or the soul of another human through words in the ear that will come into the soul. Now your faith does the person no good. You have the seed, you have the faith, you have the reality, but it does the person no good unless you plant the seed, plant that reality into their soul, and it's done through words in the ear. And now the point that I hit on was that is the water. The water. Yeah. Tend to you take care of it. Water. The woman at the well says, you know, Jesus asked for She says, you know, ask for a pillow or ask for a drink of water. And he replies to her, if you knew who I was, right, you would ask and I would give you water. And you would thirst no more. You know, for he's the living water, right? So, you know, so the seed when it's planted, it's got to get water. Jesus, 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 Jesus. Yeah, and you know, last Monday night I read some text at the end of class there, and there were parables, back-to-back fig tree, the talents. Right before that, though, he goes into the parable. He has the parable of the sower and the mustard seed just before that. These are all right back-to-back happenings. Tells them all these things laying down and how. So, anyways, what you do, and after all that happening, he comes in with the Lord's Supper. Broken body, and you do this in remembrance of me. Broken body, life poured out, and all these things. So faith, the reality of it has to be planted, and then what it gets is me. Just to sum it all up. And I really wanted to get into that and bring that to class, but anyways, I think that part of it's good. That seed of faith, the reality that you have for the man that's out there, it does him no good. At least you plant it. And then once it's planted, it won't grow without water. Yeah, that's the point right there, to get them to Galilee. You go out there preaching the gospel, you plant a reality in them. Well, now you got to get them to Jesus, get them to that living water, and where he's at is Galilee. Good? Class getting good tonight?
Yes.
Good, all right. Remember, next Monday night, Halloween. No, we won't be here in Bible study. Pastor will be back next Sunday, and just pray for everything just be good. Glenn?